This is a huge week for MMA. I think the UFC has something like 35 fights scheduled this week. So there's a lot riding on all these fights. I just wish Michelle Watterson didn't get hurt. I was excited to see her fight this Saturday. But you know how it goes. We still have Frankie Edgar versus Chad Mendes on Friday. That's a very serious fight. I'm a huge fan of both of them, especially Frankie. They're two of the top guys in the division, and both need this win. Then on Saturday, we have Weidman versus Rockhold. Another extremely significant fight. And Weidman looks like he's in great shape. He's diced to the socks. I know people have questioned Weidman's cardio since his first, the fight that made him famous against Anderson Silva. He always seems to breathe very hard, starting in the first round. And these are against older opponents, like Machida. But for this fight, Weidman looks like he's in tremendous shape going into this fight against Rockhold. Both guys know how important the fight is, and this could easily be the fight of the night. But the main event, Aldo versus McGregor. But first off, does anyone know if Aldo's in the U.S. yet? Man, we are 5 days away from the fight, and I think this guy is still in Brazil. I know Conor's in Cali, and he has plans to drive to Vegas. But what's up with Jose? I'm lightweight worried about this, man. Jose's one of my favorite fighters of all time, but he pulls out of a lot of fights. I would assume that Jose would want to acclimate himself to the Vegas climate and have enough time to get rid of the jet lag. But man, we are 5 days out. I just hope he gets to Vegas safely. I'm super excited for this fight. Most likely, though, he's just trying to limit the media obligations and avoid the trash talk with Conor. He seems like the guy that just wants to jump in the cage and start fighting, so let's hope for the best. But as for the actual fight, man, I've been going back and forth on this. Here's the thing, man. McGregor does get hit a lot, but up until now, he has shown to have an iron chin. But there are two things I keep thinking about. First, when people like Chad Mendes would crack McGregor, it would be with one solid shot. Sometimes, they'll get off like a two-punch combination. But Jose has a potential to land multiple punch combos. I mean, this guy, we've seen him. He gets in there, he'll land 3 or 4 shots and get out. Consistent combos like that have the potential to crack anyone's chin. I mean, Jose can just get in there and pop, pop, pop. And we've all seen Conor gets hit a lot, just not with flurries like that. So we'll see if that has any significance in this fight. Now, second, I keep thinking about the Max Holloway fight. Everyone knows Max is a striker, and he has shown to have an iron chin as well. In this fight, both Conor and Max were landing in the exchanges on the feet. However, Conor's left hand just didn't have the stopping power that we've seen against other opponents. It just wasn't working against Max. So Conor took the fight to the ground, and obviously that's where Conor hurt his knee. If they would have kept striking, Conor probably wouldn't have hurt his knee, but who knows how that fight would have ended. Plus, in that fight, Conor was the only one that got knocked down. I mean, Max kicked him and he went down. He got right back up, but he just wasn't able to significantly hurt Max, which could play into this Jose fight. So in case there's some crazy fluke, both Conor and Jose are going to get hit a lot in this fight. Yes, Conor has one shot stopping power, but I have never seen Jose get rocked. He gets hit a lot, but I've just never seen him rocked. Everyone's seen, in the later rounds, he does run out of gas. But man, I think I've watched pretty much every one of his fights multiple times, and I've never seen him really rocked. In the second fight, Chad cracked him. Jose went down, but he got up quicker than he went down. He just popped right back up. So my thoughts are that if Conor sees that his shots are not hurting Jose, he may get very frustrated. Kind of like in the Holloway fight. However, it's probably a bad idea for Conor to go to the ground against Jose. Anything can happen in an MMA fight, but Jose has proven to be a far superior fighter on the mat. Conor has tapped twice, and Chad pretty much had his way with him on the ground. Conor did win the fight, but up until then, I would say Chad had his way. I think he got 4 takedowns, stayed on top. He went for the submission and missed it. But as far as a ground game, I would definitely give that to Jose. And Chad couldn't really do anything to Jose when they fought on the ground. In the first fight, I guess you would say he cheated and he grabbed the fence on the takedown. I even heard Chad say something like Jose has incredible strength and balance on the ground. When he gets on top, it's hard to shake him off. And Chad is known to be one of the top wrestlers in the division. So yes, Conor said his knee was injured going into the Mendes fight, but we have to remember he has tapped twice to submission. So if he finds that he can't really stop Jose on the feet and he wants to take it to the ground, I would say he's at a disadvantage. Conor's at a disadvantage. But now for Conor, obviously, there is no one more confident than this guy. I am certain that there's no doubt in his mind that he's going to run right through Jose and stop him in the first round. And that is something that none of us have ever seen. Jose has not lost in the last 10 years. And like I said, the only pure striker that we have seen Conor go up against was Max Holloway. And Conor chose to take it to the ground in that fight. But Conor has improved a lot since the Holloway fight. One thing that I am extremely excited about is that Conor worked with Ido Portal in preparations for this fight. I've been a fan of Ido's for a while, and whenever I would hear Conor talk about movement, pattern, sequences, I would always think about Ido. I think it's great that they are working together in preparation for this fight. I'm excited to see what it will do to Conor's style, specifically in this fight against Jose. So I think Conor hits harder, but Jose is faster. Then there is this southpaw style that Conor brings to the equation. However, from watching Conor train for this fight, it seems like he's switching a lot. Switching back from the southpaw to the orthodox and back to the southpaw. But from all his fights, it looks like Conor's money shot is a straight left. So I'm sure that's what he's going to be trying to land on Jose. But the southpaw style is probably something new for Jose. But he has had 2 entire camps to prepare. Obviously, the first fight, he got injured, but he still had the full camp to prepare for a southpaw. And then this fight, I'm sure it was exclusively in preparation for a southpaw. If Conor stays in the southpaw stand, it will be interesting to see if Jose targets the front right leg like Ricardo Lamas did against Diego Sanchez. If he is able to land that consistently, it should be a very long night for Conor. But like I said, the power definitely goes to Conor and the speed to Jose. As of today, we are 5 days out, and I am predicting a victory for Jose. But I first want to see this guy get to Vegas, then see him at the weigh-ins. Both guys are huge for the 145 division, and both have always seemed to rehydrate using an IV. And now there is a ban on IV usage, so that should be a huge factor, I'm assuming, in the fight. Conor looks like he has made dietary adjustments. From his recent interviews, he looks really skinny. I don't think he'll be able to blow his body back up within that 24 hours to how big it's been in the past, in his past fights. So it will be interesting to see if he has lost some of his punching power with his new body transformation. As for Jose, I have not seen him other than on social media, but you never know when those pictures were taken, if they're recent pics, old pics. I just want to see how he looks going into the fight, especially on weigh-ins. This IV ban could have a huge impact on the fight. Jose is known to gas out in the later rounds, but I don't know if Conor, man, he looks a lot skinnier, if he still has that power. I'm assuming he does, but it is just an assumption. So as of today, 5 days until fight night, I'm going with Jose by decision or late round stoppage. But that may change when he gets into town, which I'm hoping he does. See him at the weigh-ins. But most likely I'm going to stick with Jose. Hasn't lost in 10 years. Fierce competitor. And I am so excited. Talk to you guys soon.